Hello everyone and welcome to episode 157 of this Let's Play series of Star Trek Online. My name is Winters and you are very welcome. So in this episode we are going to cover a new system that was brought out with the anniversary event, the 8th anniversary of Star Trek Online. And that system's name is called re-engineering. Now what re-engineering does is it provides you the ability to change modifiers on certain pieces of equipment. So if we look at this phaser dual heavy cannon, it's an advanced phaser dual heavy cannon Mark 14 ultra rare with the modifiers crit D, damage times 3. Now sometimes you might have modifiers on your weapons and you're like, I don't want them, they're crap, they're rubbish, I need to get something better. So let's look at some stuff that's here. Like, let's see these mines. They have a damage modifier. Maybe I don't want a damage modifier. Maybe I want crit D. I should say that in terms of weapons, the better modifiers to go for are pen, which can only be got on crafted items, crit D, and damage. They're the better, most sought after modifiers. Now, in order to re-engineer something, the first thing you have to do is ultimately get salvage. And if we go on to the Assets tab here and we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we can see here we have a new salvage category. And if we read what the tooltip says, it is salvage is used to re-roll item mods using re-engineering. You can gain this numeric by salvaging most loot drops. Now, I want to highlight that last little bit, by salvaging most loot drops, okay? Mission reward items, like this shield that we got in our previous episode, the Bajor Defense Covariant Shield, we cannot salvage, okay? Basically, if you right-click on an item, there should be a salvage option here, but there isn't. There is the option to re-engineer it, we can do that, that's just fine. If I click on this armor, because it was a loot drop item, we can see here I can salvage the item, and if I hold the control key, actually I'll show the difference. Alright, this time I am not going to press the control key. I click on salvage and then I have to OK it. And we see down here I got 119 salvage and I also got one deuterium or duranium. Now if I right click on this shield and press control and hold control while I click salvage, of course it would help if I hang on a sec, I accidentally hit the Windows key. We'll do that again. Okay, so I'm holding control, I'm going to click salvage, boom, it cuts out that one step, so it just makes it a little bit easier. Consider that a top tip. Anyway, we got 140 salvage and a number of other crafting materials, okay? So let's say, for example, that I want to re-engineer this transphasic mine. I right click on it and I click re-engineer. It will automatically slot the item into the re-engineer slot. Your first step is to unlock the modifier. Now remember, the number of modifiers is dictated by the quality. So an uncommon item will only have one modifier. A rare item will have 2 modifiers. A very rare item will have 3 modifiers. An ultra rare item will have 4 modifiers, and an epic level item will have 5 modifiers. Okay? So there we are now. We've unlocked this here. We can see that it says we need 800 dilithium and a total of 400 salvage to re-roll the dice. I currently only have 259, so I can't do it at the moment. By mousing over this here, we can see our current power is damage, even though it's highlighted in yellow, but the tooltip says damage. And our potential powers that we can get are crit D, crit H, and damage. Alright, they're the only ones that we can get. Crit D, crit H, and damage. They're the only available ones that we can get. And all you have to do is hit randomize, and it will take away 800 dilithium and 400 salvage. Right now, I am going to salvage all this junk that I have in my inventory. and try and build up a little bit of salvage. This I won't be able to because it's a mission reward item. That as well. Now, what something else I should point out: mission reward items, as I said, you will not be able to convert into salvage. Reputation stuff, you will not be able to convert into salvage either. So keep that in mind. Reputation gear, you will not be able to get salvage from it. But most other loot drops, you will. There won't be any problem with it. Salvage item. Luckily, I've had some junk in my inventory so that I can build up a small little stockpile of salvage. I want to keep that. I want to get rid of this. Okay, let's organize our inventory and see if there's anything else. Aha! Now, the next thing I should point out is, depending on the mark level of the item and the quality level, it will dictate how much salvage you get. So out of those two items, because one of them was very rare, you can see we had 522 salvage there, just from two items. But one of them was Mark 12 very rare, and that's why that number went up so much. So remember that. Depending on the mark level and the quality level will dictate how much salvage you get. Now, I crafted a couple of Mark II very rare beam rays, and if I do salvage these now, we'll see here, look, we got 49 salvage for that. Now, if that was a higher mark item, we would have got more. We would have got a lot more for them. Right. I have something in my overflow bag. Oh, specialization point. Let's select that. Coolio.
Congratulations.
Okay, an extra specialization point. Okay, we are going to take this cannon and we're going to right click and we are going to re-engineer it. So now this will give us a better understanding of the system. So, because it is ultra rare, there are 4 modifiers on it. And we can see there damage, 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 crit D. Now, if I unlock one, it's going to cost me 800 dilithium and 400 salvage. If I unlock 2, it's going to cost me 1,440 dilithium and 800 salvage. If I unlock 3, it's going to cost 1,920 dilithium and 1,200 salvage. So there's a pattern unlocking here. We can see per modifier, it's costing 400 dilithium. Or salvage, sorry. It's costing 400 salvage. So 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay? And instead of the dilithium doubling or increasing by the same amount per unlock, you would expect this to be 1,600, but instead it's 1,440. And instead of being 2,880, the next one is only 1,920, so you can see there's a pattern unlocking there as well. Anyway, I am happy with the crit D modifier. I'm going to take the chance and roll the dice on these. We can see our potential modifiers are accuracy, crit D, crit H, and damage. That should be the same. Yeah, it is. It's the same on all of them. So I'm going to hit randomize, and it is random. From my testing on Tribble, you're looking at anywhere between half a dozen to a dozen times before you get the modifiers that you want. Now, obviously, that can increase or it can decrease. It's just the look of the draw. It's completely random. And there's nothing really you can do to improve that any. Just tough. There's nothing else you can do. So we'll hit randomize. Ta-da! There we go. Now, I got a crit D modifier. Boom. I'm locking that one. I'm very happy with that. And I'm going to roll the dice again for these two. got a damage again and a crit H. Oh, something else I should point out. Apparently, let's say if you start off with a damage modifier. Now, this is apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, I haven't tested it. You cannot get another damage modifier on your next reroll. Okay? Just like on this one, I cannot get another crit H modifier. Basically, I cannot end up in the same place that I started. Hopefully that makes sense. Right, we'll roll the dice again. Sweet! Nice, we got crit D there and we got a crit D there. And if we look at our item here now, it is crit D times 4. I am very happy with that. So I'm going to put that there. And we'll take this one down. And we will re-engineer the item. We will only be able to roll the dice twice on this, unfortunately, but we'll give it a do you know what? We'll just do one. And one more. Okay. I'm out of resources. But, you know, by playing content, doing crystalline entities, doing story missions, doing PvE queues, and whatever, I will get more salvage. And what this one turned out to be, this one here, crit D times 4, that is ultimately what I'm going for. It's the best possible outcome that I can get for that weapon. Right, let's see. Is there anything else with re-engineering that I need to tell you guys? Yeah, just there's a new currency. It's called salvage. You get salvage from loot items. You cannot get salvage from mission reward items or reputation items. You will not be able to change mods on every piece of gear, like depending on the piece that you're trying to re-engineer. Here's a perfect example: the board kinetic cutting beam. Look, there is no re-engineering option on that. On the board kinetic cutting beam, you know, it's just tough. You can't do anything with it. With the yeah, you can with the turrets. They work the very same way. And with ground weapons, let's have a look at our ground stuff here. Let's take a look at this rifle. Right click and re-engineer. We can re-roll the dice on these, yeah. But see here now, the S heal, shield heal, that is permanent. We cannot do anything about that modifier. Tough. We cannot do anything about it. We can re-roll the crit X one, and see again, it shows here we can either get crit X, KB3 or dot 3. I would be going for crit D, to be honest with you, on these. That's change them from damage to crit D. That's what I would be trying for. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a very simple system, not too difficult at all to understand. Like I said, you're looking at about anywhere between half a dozen and a dozen tries before you actually get the modifiers that you want. That's just a rough ballpark estimate. Those numbers can increase or decrease. It just depends, you know. It is a completely random system, and there's nothing you can do to improve it. The costs are okay. They could be better. Oh, I can refine. Nice. If we look here, look, I've cracked 1 million dilithium on this guy. Very happy about that. Yeah, so the costs, they're okay. They're not that bad. They could be a little bit better. To tell you the truth, they were a little bit better to what I consider to be reasonable when this system first came out on Tribble. But they then got modified a little bit, i.e. they were increased slightly. I think, like I said, the costs are okay, but I thought what they were previously was a lot more in line with what they should have been. I can't remember exactly what they are now. But still, they're okay. Hey, it could be worse, okay? That's the way that I look at it. It could be a hell of a lot worse. So, yeah, that's re-engineering. So thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below and I will reply to you. And as always, please subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. My name is Winters and I will see you next time. So until then, take care.